Hey, what's up guys, Jaeky here. Today we're going to be going over a Jett guide for Lotus. So this is going to be how to defend as well as attack entry paths on Lotus. Let's start with the defense side on A. So when playing A on Lotus, a big part of this map is taking a main control. So that means taking control of rubble and basically all of this space right here. This makes defending a lot easier. When you have rubble control, you can also get one extra player to rotate to the other side of the map as well. And just getting all of this space is a lot of good information. So as a Jett, you want to take space rubble with your dash, and you're going to need either a smoke here from your controller or a smoke deep, depending on which one you want. Typically, I like the smoke out like this. And then you're also going to need some sort of utility from your initiator as well. If you have a breach, you can get them to stun the line. If you have a fade, you can get them to suck. And if you have a raise here as well, you can get a raise nade here with a suck, and that's really good for the A fight. If you have an omen, you want them starting A link and they can paranoia for you. After they paranoia, they can smoke after. But your main job as a Jett is just to take space. So you can either go top rubble or you can go back rubble, both of which are super valid. And you're just going to start against the barrier, pop your dash. What I like to do is throw a cloudburst down. You're going to dash into this cloudburst, and then you can either updraft onto rubble, and now you have this elevated angle that you can hold a main from. And this is really good just for keeping all of the space. After you get the space, if you are fighting, obviously you fight from here, and then you can get your initiator to throw flashes for you or whatever. If there's nothing A, no presence at all, then you can get one of your players rotating to help the other sites. You can also just dash rubble normally, so you can just throw a cloudburst down, dash into it like this, and then you can either fight this side, or you can go here, wait for some sort of util, and fight this side. That's why I like having the smoke here, because if you have a smoke here, you can just wait for it to fade, and then you can take fights from different angles. But after you get this space, you can get your controller to re-smoke deep, and you can just hold this smoke right here. You can also just play an off angle right here, front rubble, and hold this as well. Really up to you. But when defending A, you do want to try and take this rubble space, unless you have a really bad comp where you don't have utility to take this space. Like let's say you have a clove, and then you have like a gecko or some sort of initiator that can't really help you take this A main space, then you can start playing passive. But if you do have the comp, do try and take this A main space because it is really important. If I'm not fighting for rubble, there's a couple different plays I'll do. First one is this one right here, just sitting behind on this angle and then waiting for them to cross this line. You can get a kill, and then you can always dash out safely like this. You can also get on an elevated off angle right here, pre-round against the barrier, and then this is a nice off angle as well. Make sure you're aware of the breach flashes on this wall, that you can either play anti or just turn them. And then you have a nice little angle here that you can hold that's unexpected. Again, you can pop dash and get out as well from here. Another play you can do is push up. So you can actually push up right here and get on this angle, get a frag, and now you can pop dash, throw a cloudburst down. Make sure you dash and updraft. This will increase the chances of you living with the updraft. So that's another play you can go for as well. So yeah, mainly as a Jett, you want to be playing on A site because you're going to have your Sentinel playing C. And then B, you can go for like the odd peek every now and then, or you can hold like an off angle here every now and then. But there's not really much to say about B without like getting into actually how to play Lotus itself. But I just want to keep this more of a strictly Jett guide. But yeah, if you're fighting towards C, like you can peek mound here as well. You can even go wide because you have a dash to get out, right? You can play like all of these off angles here. You can get a kill and then you can dash back out into safety. So not really much to say about that. So let's move over to the attack side where things get a little bit more interesting. So when attacking as a Jett on Lotus, on the A site, you want to dash rubble to get space for your team. So you're going to hug this barrier in the corner. As soon as the barrier drops, you're going to dash across. Make sure you're facing forward so you can actually scout information. Instead of like looking this way and just straight up dashing rubble, you want to at least make sure you're looking this way when you dash so that you're able to get any info on anybody pushing up close or anything else like that. Sometimes if we have some sort of breach flash for this wall, I actually like to do an updraft onto rubble. So I'll dash across and then I'll updraft right after paired with a breach flash. And then now you can get this elevated angle on these left players who hopefully will be blind from the breach flash. But you can take elevated fights here after you dash. You can also save your dash as well. If you want to save your dash, you can just smoke the cross here with a cloudburst, and then you can cross with this cloudburst, right? And then you just take a main space normally with your team. I like to go through door So I like to just open the door here, stand back a little bit, hold this, make sure you're clearing this properly, and then I like to go through the left side so that I can clear this close angle without risk of getting judged as much, and then you can clear the tree. And then now if you have your dash saved up to this point, you want either an Omen Paranoia going into this line or a Breach Stun going into this line, depending on what agents you have on your team. Throw a Cloudburst down here, and then you're going to dash forward with that util, and then now you can clear back sight for your team. And then obviously you should have a Heaven Smoke here as well. So that's kind of like the basic entry path on Jett when I go A. Moving on to the B site, relatively straightforward. You just want to dash in for your team, and then you're going to take some sort of control, either C-Link or upper, depending on what your team wants to do. You can even go back to B main if you're playing post plant, but typically I like to keep some of this space. So you're going to dash in for your team. I just like to throw a Cloudburst down. Again, make sure when you dash in, you clear left and you clear right. All of these close angles should be cleared by you when you dash in. You're going to dash into your Cloudburst, and then you can come out and you can either fight for this C-Link space, or you can push upper. Really depends what you want to do. But yeah, just a very basic entry path on Jett. Another entry path you can do is you can throw a Cloudburst down right here, and then you can updraft, dash into it. And again, make sure you clear these close angles. And now you're in your Cloudburst. You can come out of here and you can fight Heaven. Okay, moving on to C site. Very simple. You just want to throw a Cloudburst down right here, and then updraft, dash into it. And now you come out looking at elbow, and you can clear all of this. You want some sort of util or backside here, because there can be a guy backside. You can either have util for the backside guy or the elbow guy. And then what you come out looking at really depends what information you have. So you're updraft dashing, and you can either sit in this corner, come out looking at backside. If there's nothing here, now you can wrap elbow and pinch this elbow guy. Right, hold this for a second and then swing elbow. Or if you have some sort of utility or the backside guy, you can immediately go in looking at the backside guy. If you know elbow's clear, you can just immediately hard stare at this, and then obviously these two should be smoked. And then after you entry, you can either take space, water, or CT depending on what your team wants to do, or you can play passive. I like to play on top of this box sometimes right here and just hold this water walkout. But yeah, post plant really just depends what your team wants to do. But that's the basic entry paths. Typically, I don't really like just dashing without an updraft. Like, I don't really like doing this and just dashing into my smoke and then going elbow. I like to get some elevation so that we can pinch this elbow guy together. Because if you just dash regularly into this corner, you're just going the normal route that your team goes. And so this elbow guy is just holding one thing, and there's really no pressure on site for him. So he can just focus on holding this angle, and it's a pretty easy kill. Unless you have some sort of util, of course. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's like the basic Jett guide for Lotus. And those are like the super simple entry paths that everybody should know when you're playing Jett on this map. But that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if it helps you out, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.